Yeah, Rivet's phenomenal. It's kind of like my pliers that I wear every day. I'd be lost without it if I didn't have it.
I like the visual, the company visual, where you can see the peaks and the valleys. Again, that gives me just a quick snapshot gut feeling of if a guy calls and wants us to bid on this project for next month, whether I can be aggressive or if I basically need to go out bid it high because it's going to be on overtime.
Having the foreman have access to Rivet, and actually the apprentices, everybody on my crew has access to Rivet to see where they're at every day. Completely went from me having to make sure that I was communicating with the whole group and everybody knew where they were going and acknowledging that they knew where they were going, to where I don't get any phone calls anymore.
The biggest benefit to me is really just, I'm looking at, okay, where's my crew at? Who's on my crew, which is something I'm communicating with my office. And, I'm also trying to project out what that crew size is going to do to the overall schedule of the project I'm on. So, I'm seeing start dates, end dates, week by week. And it's really just, trying to forecast my labor in a way where I'm not seeing these highs and lows week to week, because it becomes a management and logistics nightmare.
It's lessened the communication maybe with certain things, but it's opened the door for other things for me to be able to work on. Everybody on the crew, from pre-apprentice to the foreman on my crew, look at it. I've heard a lot of feedback from the foreman on the crew that before the apprentices had access to it, the foreman had to look every day to make sure if they were getting somebody different on the job site or someone was leaving their job site. Now they all, honestly, I think they all look at it.
There's information I need on Rivet, an employee ID number. Sometimes I need to look at it and reference, hey, are they OSHA 10? Are they OSHA 30? What kind of licensing they might have. Sometimes it's their experience. Some of my jobs require me to, are they a first-year apprentice, a journeyman? Are they a foreman? So that'd be kind of how, on an individual basis, I'm looking at them.
The nice thing with the way it's set up with Rivet is on Sean's or the major jobs at Tessiers and some of the minors, when we do have work on there, I can plug that in to that individual and they can still see it on their roll-up, if you want to call it that they see every day. So then at the same aspect, I'll look at to see when they're going out and doing the work, if there's something close by. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes I can look at that and look at what I have for work at the same time and where people are scheduled. And I have at times put it to where, I know this happened in Wagner, they were down there working on a job for Sean's crew, and I had work there. So then I plugged them in and then they did both of them while they were down there. And there's also times that I look at his forecast and I beat him up on it all the time. But if PMs aren't plugging their stuff in and I see a dip, I want help, or if I need help, I'm looking for him to see if I can get any. So I look at the eastern part of it more than anything of the state on what they have going on for work. And also I look to see on Fridays, if we run into a lot with Fridays where sometimes I need an extra person or two, and I'll see if anybody's scheduled, and if not, I'll call Sean and see if I can plug somebody in off of his crew. So we share resources a lot when we can. I also look ahead when I have work that is at my door to quote, and I'll look to see what his forecast is and then collaborate with him if we're going to be able to make it work or not. So I mean, the graph and all that is pretty huge, to as long as everybody's doing their job and plugging it in. Pretty useful. As far as the shop goes, the folks that usually don't come into the shop much on my crew, If we're behind in here, Fridays, Thursdays, whatever day it is, if I see an opening, I'll plug them into we created one called the Tessiers Welding Shop on Rivet, and plug them in, and they know right where they're going. They're getting no questions asked.
I used to do a lot of that just like on notepads, you know, and I would go through week by week, and I'm kind of forecasting my labor, but I would still have to take that information, give it off to my PM, or coordinate that with Sean Cass, my operations leader. So it was just a lengthier process to get to what Rivet's doing a lot quicker for us.
What's the value of the time back? Yeah. I don't know if you can put a price on it, honestly. I mean, if you did, it would be pretty high.